Welcome to Knights of Roleplay, an adventuring podcast. This is an actual play Dungeons & Dragons podcast. Royalty-free music provided by Kevin MacLeod, Michael Gelfie Studios, Plate Mill Games, and Tabletop Audio. And now, to adventure. Hello listeners, thank you for joining us for this episode of Knights of Roleplay. I'm DM Chris. Before we get into the adventure, I have a little housekeeping. After we signed off last episode, I told the group that their characters became 4th level.
Yeah.
Yay!
I'm dangerous now.
Last adventure, the party defeated a group of lizard folk, and the leader was wearing evolving electric chainmail and evolving boots of speed. Erebus, our dragonborn fighter, has the chainmail, and Aqua, our shardling rogue, has the boots, although they are not attuned to the items yet. We discussed changing the rules for drinking potions, so our rule is now that a character can drink a potion as a bonus action or administer a potion to another creature as an action. I also changed the Rootfolk species slightly to allow the shove action to move a creature 15 feet. Finally, at the end of this adventure, I have a special announcement to share after we do stars and wishes.
15 feet. Wow, we got to find some cliffs.
Okay, so now into our adventure. As our adventure begins, the date is Chagrath 25th, 3252 AD. The party traveled to a temple ruin in Green Province to find a tablet that is somehow connected to the platinum egg they recovered from White Province. After battling some lizard folk, the party discovered a dragonclaw birthmark on the floor of the first level of the ruined temple. Andy touched it, causing it to glow, and a 5x10 section of the floor slid open, revealing a dark passage. So, adventurers, how would you like to proceed?
We're gonna go down the hole.
Right. I'm gonna open my notebook and hopefully not.
That seems like a very likely choice.
Are you guys doing anything before you go down in the hole?
I mean, if we took a long rest, then the folks who needed to attune, do you want to attune to things before we rove in?
Take a short rest?
Yes.
Well,
To attune things?
I mean, we found those before the long rest, right?
No,
He just said they're not attuned.
Oh,
So-
okay. All right.
So, attuning time, yes.
So, yeah, I
Take
guess.
an hour to attune, or not even a short rest, but just to let people attune.
Also, I mean, if I missed the fact that you guys had the battle and then had a long rest,
Correct.
then yes, you would be attuned
Yes,
to it.
because
I thought we were picking up like right as the battle ended.
No, because we fought the lizard folk and then we stayed in the huts overnight.
Okay.
Yes, we
And then
did.
we-
I remember
yeah.
that
Yeah.
now.
Okay. Then you are definitely attuned to the items then.
Okay, so we're fully rested, then we don't need a rest. Okay.
Parent brain is the thing.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
totally forgot that.
Okay. Since
May my dice be kinder today than they were last week.
And mine as
I
well.
know. I was listening to it. I was like, oh, man. We could roll it off.
Okay. So with items attuned and fully rested, you are heading down the stairs.
I
Yes.
don't think I have dark vision. Do I have dark vision? I thought halflings did, but I guess not.
I mean,
I could be wrong about that, because that never happens.
you see, Z pulls out a torch, and with a little snap of her finger, there's a spark of magic, and the torch lights fire because she has druidcraft.
Yay, fire!
Yeah,
Don't get it in your hair.
Okay.
legit. I've learned that the hard way, you know.
Actually, you let me up, I'll hold it for you.
Hand it off to Andy. Andy's on the shoulders.
Andy's on the shoulder holding the torch, keeping it out of her hair.
Okay. So you have a single light source that is a torch, correct?
I think, yeah, unless we have other people with light.
I have
which
light.
I thought that she had light, so we might have.
I can
her.
cast light if we need
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
So
Okay. So there's 4 of you, and you currently have 20-foot bright and 20-foot dim
Right.
from that torch.
Is this our 7th session? 8th session?
I'm not sure.
I had it noted.
So as you begin moving down the stairs, the construction of the stairs turns from stone into black metal. The same is true for the walls and ceiling. It looks like the same metal used in the construction of the structure in the ice. In the surface of the metal, you see the same kind of engravings that you saw in the structure in the ice. You walk down the stairs for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, before you come to a hallway that forms a T intersection with the stairs. The hallway is about 60 feet across and maybe a couple hundred feet tall. The hallway goes off into darkness to the north and south. It also curves slightly west, like the entire hallway is circular. So how would you like to proceed?
Left or right?
We can just pick one. I know last time, What's-Her-Face managed to help us with directions, but we could just pick one if we're scared to communicate, because
Her name is
someone might be
Ophelia.
listening in.
No.
Well,
Does anyone
she's not the
sense
brightest, and I was role-playing that.
anything? Does anyone sense
The
anything
lady?
here?
Yeah, well,
That lady?
I guess I could attempt a perception check to see if, like, maybe one side is like lighter than the other, or if there's a breeze moving through, or anything to distinguish
I
between
can
the
help
two
you.
sides.
You can certainly make a perception check if you'd like.
Okay.
Helping.
And
Game,
Yeah.
I just said, does anyone sense anything?
well, that's what I'm checking.
Oh, dear,
that's what the
checking it.
perception check is. Yeah.
We're trying to perceive.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Perceive.
Perceive. Let's see. 19 on the die plus. Go away. What is my perception? 23 total.
23 total. Let's see.
I mean, obviously, if there isn't, there isn't. But you know,
Yes, that's a perception check, though?
that is a perception check.
Okay. So they both directions do look identical. I will say, though, that with your 23 perception check, you see like mostly the carvings on the walls are just similar to what was in the structure in the ice. You're not sure if it's language, mathematics, maps, whatever. You don't really know what it is, but you do see from that 23 perception, you see that there also, you can see an image of something that looks like a 5-headed dragon battling another dragon. You can make that out along the wall. We'll just say that you happen to be looking into the North Passage when you saw that on the wall in the North Passage. Among the other stuff that you don't understand, you see a depiction of a 5-headed dragon battling another dragon.
This is artwork on the wall.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Like right across from the way.
No, it's artwork on your face.
I'll say it's about 20 feet up the hall from.
Okay.
Should you even hear that?
No, I'm tired. Distracted by don't
Being
get the
this-
baby monitor.
okay.
Go get the baby monitor.
Being the skill monkey, I would like to attempt see if I recognize anything about a 5-headed dragon, because that would have been unusual. And maybe somebody who has some categorical knowledge of history might be able to help me out
I mean,
with it.
do we have the world lore? In Chris's campaign lead-in, it was
Yes, but that's not what our characters
but
necessarily know.
do the characters know that lore? That was the
That's a
question.
great
I was
question. It
asking.
depends on the character.
Yes.
Then
Right.
and
Yeah,
depends on this.
the character. Yeah.
That's why John is suggesting a history
Yeah. Okay.
check, which
Yeah,
is what I would agree with.
Sure.
Okay.
For as much data as I have, I don't know much about history. I grew up in a lab.
I mean, I
That's
can.
true.
I
It's
can
very
pick my
dark in
brain.
here.
Like I said, I didn't pay much attention in class, but I did take the classes.
Well, hey, maybe they heard something. And, monks
All right.
and dragons, I guess. I don't
Okay,
know.
She thinks dragons are cool, so she's going to try to think really hard. So she'll burn her inspiration.
Anyone that
Oh.
wants to make a history check can.
If
Go ahead.
I'm rolling, you want us to roll individually, or do you want me to roll? With help?
The fact that it's
I
just sort
think
of
he was
it's-
looking for help on this
This is-
check.
You're looking for help on the check.
Yeah.
What's
Or is
the
this
intention?
something
Yeah,
that is that can't really
We've made
help?
rulings against mental type checks and helping before.
Okay,
I don't
fair
know
enough.
if
That's my idea. Is that like either your character knows it or they don't. The other
Okay.
person can't help you.
There's no
remember.
collabing.
So, like,
Okay.
Yeah.
you practically see smoke coming out of
Okay,
Z's
well, I'm
ears
going to
'cause
attempt
she-
anyway, but I
Sure.
will not be bringing
Oh
my
my gosh,
inspiration on it.
that's not a good sign. 2 and 3
Hey,
for a grand 2.
let's see how my new mushroom dice works.
Mushroom dice!
Try to knock the mushroom off my brain here.
Oh boy.
There's fungus among us.
18.
That's respectable.
18.
It's definitely better than.
Actually, hang on. Let me double check.
32.
Sorry, 16. I only got a +2 on my history.
Okay. So 16 beats a moderate DC. It's usually like 10 for easy, 15 for moderate, 20 for hard. So beating a moderate DC, I would say that you've heard rumors of a five-headed dragon. Let's see.
In any kind of context.
I think he's thinking of that right now.
Okay.
You don't know a name. You don't have a name. You can't remember a name. You think that it is connected to the dragonborn species. A five-headed dragon whose name you don't know that is connected to the dragonborn species.
Okay.
That is about as much as you can get with a 15.
Fair enough. It would
What
have been,
will tactful Andy say to us about that?
Okay. Tactful Andy would say, I don't know shit about that. No. Okay.
Shit, I don't got shit.
Andy, comb the desert.
So, I mean, I have only heard, not even, I hate to even hesitate to use the word whispers, just very vague rumors, almost myths of a five-headed dragon, but never actually any stories about it.
No songs.
No songs.
Nothing like
Like that. Nothing's actually made it to actual literature of any kind or culture.
Is there a specific type of color this dragon is, or is it all colors?
I don't even have that much information on it. Only that there is rumors from the deep past about something to do with this five-headed dragon and the dragonborn race. Beyond that, I haven't heard anything. And what this deal is with fighting the other dragon, no stories of that have survived that I know of.
It's not hard to think about the fact that the dragon has 5 heads and there are 5 colors of dragonborn species. You know, that's not a stretch for you to kind of make that kind of a connection, but that's as far as it goes.
Yeah. Nothing definitive, I should say.
Yeah, and you don't know what the other dragon on the image is. You have no idea what the other dragon is.
Strange. But it does, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we started down this hallway already, so we might as well continue on going off to the...
Sure.
Okay, so at some point when the last of you stepped off of the stairs and you were standing in the hallway, the entire flight of stairs widened out to about 60 feet, and each stair grew to about a depth of 30 feet, and the ceiling itself up to about a couple hundred feet. It almost seemed like once you stepped out of the hallway, it changed to match the place that you're now in.
Whoa.
So,
Well, given the
something
dimension,
about this knew that little people were coming down here to visit and changed?
that's some cool magic.
That's weird.
Yeah. I mean, that we're in an abode of the Colossi is pretty obvious at this point, just given the dimensions.
Yeah.
So keep your heads up, keep your eyes up.
What's to do with the Colossi and the dragons? That's what I want to know.
That's a good question.
So things
maybe
were
they knew
big
something.
before in here.
They were a little big when we came down to... Look, the stairs, we couldn't climb back up them right now. They just became 30 feet tall?
No, 30 feet.
30 feet.
30 feet deep,
30 feet
60 feet
deep.
across.
Oh, okay. So they just got a lot bigger since we came down. They were sized for us.
And the ceiling is like
And then
way
we
up
came
there.
down and everything got bigger.
Oh.
Would I be able to draw the conclusion that the Colossi were about the size of the statues that we saw?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, okay. Just want to make sure that that was a fair thing to say.
It's kind of like the scale of the
Yeah,
place.
just based on the scale of the structure of the ice and
It's
based on the
same
scale
metal.
of this place, the size of the statue, it seems to fit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, so I'm going to say the Colossi, yes, were very big. They were, if you remember those statues that we came across earlier,
Ah, yes.
Yeah, that's probably about what size they were.
Okay, so you said you headed north?
It was north and south was our
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, north
Okay.
is fine.
Okay.
Well, I'll assume that was the direction the mural was.
Okay. Yes, that was the direction that you saw. Yep. So after a few minutes of walking, you come to a large triangular door, probably 100 feet high, that you recognize from the structure in the ice. It is made of multiple sections crossed over one another, and there is a large panel about 30 feet up the wall. And it looks just like the triangle doors from the structure in the ice.
Give me a boost.
Yeah. Lift them up.
Okay, so you give Andy a boost. You activate the panel. The sections of the triangular door slide away, revealing a completely dark, empty space, except for the floor, which continues to lead out into the darkness at a slight curve. Beyond the door, there are no walls or ceilings, just the footpath, with dark, empty space all around and beneath.
I attack the darkness.
Do we feel like it's magical darkness? Like, is my torch extending into it by a normal range if I hold it near the edge of the darkness? Or?
I mean, you can see along the footpath to the distance that you normally can see.
Does it look like there's like a drop off into nothing on either side? Like can we tell?
Does anybody have like a ball bearing or anything?
Hi.
I'm serious.
I mean, you got crystals, but they don't stay once you remove them from your body.
I picked up a rock. I give it to you.
Is there rocks around? If it's an all metal structure, I'm guessing no.
There are probably no rocks. I mean, if you want to give her like a copper piece,
like
or
in my
a
pocket.
gold piece or
copper
something,
piece. Yeah, sure.
silver piece.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you pilot for a little bit.
I mean, if
And-
you're gonna do it as money, then I'll just take one of my own copper pieces.
Sure.
I'm gonna take a copper piece and cast a light on it
Okay.
and throw it as hard as I can down the path.
Okay.
Like, try and curveball it.
Are you trying to get it onto the path or off into the darkness?
Off into the darkness a little.
Okay. So you throw it, and it goes out and misses the floor, and kind of drops off into the darkness, and it just goes on until you see that speck of light get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller.
Infinite.
Talk about a waste of money.
Watch your step.
How wide is the path?
The path is 30 feet.
So it's like a colossi size.
Sorry, 60 feet.
It's a colossi-sized path. Okay.
So, not likely
Wow.
to get to...
Well,
too close to the edge,
stay in
just-
the middle, but that's kind of...
Okay. While you're piloting, I am going to start ritual casting detect magic.
Okay.
So, I'll be out of commission for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. So get into a fight.
I'd say,
Got it.
Aqua, didn't you figure out a bit about all these inscriptions and stuff in the last place? And you were trying to kind of commune with them, right, when we were in the cave in the ice?
I remember focusing on the tattoo, and that kind of gave me visions.
There was something on the throne, right?
Yeah.
I mean, are there any? Do we see any dragon marks? Her slow little brain is going to put it together. Now she's going to start looking to see if there's dragon marks hiding among all the other things on the floor or wherever else.
So are you talking about the path?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
I'll help you.
Okay.
That's okay. You can do that.
All right.
It is perceiving. It is helpable.
No.
Perceptify.
My dice gonna come along for the ride tonight. There's the question.
Superfly, Perceptify.
That's better. Okay, 17. Plus 4. So 21.
Bigger guns.
21. You think you might see one Dragonclaw birthmark.
Okay. I see. Over there.
The engravings are still, they're on the floor, even though there's no ceilings or walls, really, but there's still engravings on the floor, and you can see that there is a Dragonclaw birthmark on the floor.
I will crawl to where she's pointing on the floor and touch the birthmark and concentrate.
Okay. You touch the birthmark, and you don't actually get anything. I mean, it just seems to be just sort of part of the engravings. Yep.
Now,
I got nothing.
Is the mark small, or is it in comparison to everything else that we've seen?
It's probably about the size of like a silver dollar.
Oh, okay.
What about the chair? Is the chair...
No chair.
No chair? Okay.
There's no chairs, just a path.
Rudolph.
Well, I'd say the only way forward is forward.
All right.
Okay.
Let's keep going.
And you can let me know when my 10 minutes are up and if I've got anything.
Okay.
I will stop concentrating on the light spell on that copper piece that is seemingly falling into oblivion.
Okay. So as you continue on the path, it ends at another triangular door. The door is set into a large sphere about 400 feet in diameter. It's made of the same black metal.
Black metal.
And I would imagine you can't actually detect it's a spear because it's dim, correct?
You can basically see a curving wall going off in 40 feet in all directions from where you are, because you have 20 feet of bright light and 20 feet of dim light.
Okay.
So like if you're standing at the door, you can see out to 40 feet. You can see that it's curving.
Okay.
So it appears to be like a sphere.
Okay.
I like your music selection, by the way.
Is this the Thunderdome?
Right.
We don't need another
I mean,
heroes.
We're in agreement that we're staying radio silent, right? We don't want to risk someone hearing us asking Ophelia
Yes.
if she senses anything.
Yes, I don't
from
think
us.
she's going to
Okay.
give us any
Okay.
information more than what we're already finding.
Okay.
I'm very suspicious of her anyway. Right now, at least.
Erebus, so untrusting.
Greg's character. is
Stay
better.
suspicious. It's good to have at least one.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
But I'm being loose and free, though. With this character.
I'll activate the panel this time
Okay.
if I can.
I mean, Z has got to give you a boost, but yes, you can activate the panel.
Right.
Let's see. The sections of the door slide open, and you see a floor that runs through the center of the spherical structure, at least out to 40 feet, creating what you believe to be a room with a dome-shaped ceiling. In the center of the room, you can just barely kind of make out what looks like to be a sphere. Looks like it's kind of floating there. It's right on the edge of your light.
Okay.
Sphere.
Wasn't there like an anti-gravity sphere in one of these rooms previously?
There was in the structure of the ice, yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
How do we deactivate
Is my detect
that?
magic?
We don't know that it's
Yes,
anything
I will say that your
together.
detect magic is up.
Okay. And any auras
Yes, coming from the direction of the sphere.
coming from the direction of the sphere? It might surprise you guys to know that that sphere is magical.
You know, it's sad.
Your insight is absolutely uncanny.
I know.
Let's go check it out. Do we see anything floating around the sphere?
You get closer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you sure? No.
Right.
Are you sure you get closer?
Yep. This is Z we're talking about.
So you basically go over and kind of check out the sphere, and it looks to be made of the same black metal that makes up the entire complex. And you do kind of notice, like as you're leaving the door and heading towards the sphere, you notice that the engravings on the walls seem different in this room. From what little you can see, they depict like some scenes of what look like different sort of events, like battle, exploration, social interaction.
Are they lizards like they were in the cave? Or in the
No,
temple?
no, it seems to be like if you want to like stop and take a look at one of the engravings, like one of the scenes.
I would absolutely love to
yeah.
take if they're depicting historical scenes.
Yeah,
then
we
that is
should-
right up my alley.
Let's
I'd
take that
definitely
in
like
and
to
then
take
explore the middle.
Sure. I mean, essentially, you kind of go
Let's take
around
a
the
row.
outsider edge, the
Yeah,
outside
patrol.
edge, and you see different races. You see different species, and all different kinds of situations. And it does seem to be like some kind of a historical record, but it's not of any one specific species. It's like a wide breadth of different
So, Andy, you
species.
think this is magic, as you said before?
Well, whatever that is in the middle is
Yeah.
definitely magic. These carvings, though, are not. I think these carvings are just a historical record.
If I go through them, and I take the time to go around the whole area,
Yeah,
are
sure.
there any scenes or species that stick out in particular?
I would say that you see one that appears to depict very large humanoids.
What are they doing?
Very large humanoid things.
If they fucking.
Timestamp. No, and actually, you actually see a depiction of what looks like one of this species basically kind of melting away under rain.
Oh.
It's hard to tell because there's no color; everything's just black with these engravings on it. But you can kind of feel around and look really closely with the light. It looks like this individual is being damaged by some kind of rain.
Acid rain.
Is there any other thing in that area or going around that depicts a similar level of calamity?
You see one or two images of different kinds of possible apocalypses. I mean, there's all kinds of different depictions of different events.
Huh.
And they go all the way up like past your light.
Right.
Well,
You're pretty sure they're all along this entire inside structure.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do what I can to commit as much of this to memory as possible. What I'm curious about.
I have a camera phone built in. No.
Right. Our quarter started.
Any other depictions of five-headed dragons?
No, not within the range of your light, at least. I mean, it goes up to a certain point beyond your light, and you can't see it unless you're spider climbing or something.
Yeah.
But you don't see any other depictions of that. No.
So
Should have taken spider climb.
Then my last question is: do any of these scenes that are depicted seem familiar to me? Like they match up with stories that I might have heard, or ancient songs, or anything like that. And my vocal fry is getting very out of hand. Can you do something about that?
If they did, it would have to do with the world of Harkenrath. I would say no. I would say, again, you have a limited area to view from with the torchlight. You don't see anything that looks familiar within the range of the torchlight, even after basically circumnavigating the entire room.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, if we're talking really ancient stuff here, then no, Andy probably would.
Yeah.
So Erebus says, this looks like it might be some kind of record of something that has happened maybe here or someplace else.
And I kind of get the impression, given that there's all kinds of different races here, that this is probably more a record of not only of events across different places.
There are other places?
Well,
Your face.
well,
dog.
like just across the land, not in any particular given region.
I see.
So Greg, it's totally up to you if you want to say that your character is aware of other planes of existence. I mean, I like what you're doing. If you act as if your character has no idea, that is perfectly valid. I just want to let you know that you can choose whichever way you want.
Okay.
But it sounds like Erebus doesn't know about other planes of
he
existence.
might not know about it, but as he was, his knowledge would be different. But what he is now, his knowledge is not the same.
Okay. Which was, you had mentioned during the campfire talks that you had turned from one species to the Dragonborn species.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you specify what species you were? I think you did.
Yeah, I think it was half elf.
Half elf. Okay. Okay. Anyway, continue.
So, well, I think I've gotten just about all I can from these pictographs. Want to go check out the ball?
Yeah, we might as well.
I'll go touch the ball.
Go fondle the ball. Ponder the ball.
I will paw over the ball.
Ponder the orb.
The ball pulls all metal towards it, and a beholder comes out.
No.
Been there, done.
Deja vu.
Boo. Deja vu.
I will not describe that in detail to avoid spoilers for anybody who just started listening to us right now. Okay. So Aqua is touching the ball, correct?
I'm going to attempt to.
Okay. As you touch the sphere, the surface becomes slightly illuminated. Dark clouds swirl along the surface before coalescing into a starscape as if looking at the night sky from within the sky itself.
Ooh.
You see a space battle taking place around a city built on an asteroid. Among the many space vessels in flight, you see a large ship shaped like a manta ray with a city on its back. The scene plays out for 30 seconds and then a minute. How long do you watch?
Wow.
I'll keep going until it changes or stops. She has a thrive for knowledge.
Okay, so
Do we see Janie?
Z's like,
so it goes for about 10 minutes until basically it looks like the vessels that were sort of squid-like basically were destroyed and are retreated off into the distance. So once the battle is over, then the sort of like the illumination fades and it goes back to being dark.
huh.
What were those?
I don't know. I want to try.
My turn.
Okay, so
Do we all see this?
yeah, I mean, are you touching it?
I am.
Okay. So Z goes over and touches it, and you see a journey. You see like a scene of like a long journey taking place, a journey that seems to actually mirror one of the depictions that you saw on the wall.
Okay.
It's essentially a bunch of humanoids that are traveling a great distance over like some mountains and then through some forests and then to a seacoast.
Okay.
It's nothing that you recognize and know what it is, but it seems familiar because you think you saw it on the wall.
Okay.
So could the pictographs then be? Actually, do you share that you recognize that you? Sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
It looks like something I saw on the wall out there.
I wonder
touches
if
too.
I mean,
I
we're
wonder
all
if the
seeing this,
pictographs are records of what they have been seeing in the orb.
Maybe.
It's quite possible.
Are you saying this is like a crystal ball?
It's interesting that we each saw a different scene. If I touched again, do I get the same scene?
No, you get a different one. I mean, you can all touch it and
Yeah. We can all see what happens when one person touches it, right?
yes, correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, basically you can keep on touching it and you keep on getting different scenes.
I lick it.
I just had a vision of Andy like this. Trying to reach it with his tongue because he's so short.
No, I'm kidding.
Like,
That is very, very disturbing. Licking balls.
speak for yourself.
So the different scenes that you watch have like different durations. Some of them are much longer than others. Some of them are very short. I'll say that if you keep on watching enough movies, you do start to recognize some of them from the walls that are within your light source. So you can maybe assume that the ones that you don't recognize might be further up on the walls that you can't see.
On a more practical question,
Yes.
As we were walking around looking at the pictures, did we come across another door?
Yes, there was another door on the other side. The same triangular door, correct.
Is there any imperfection in texture or something that we could see on the sphere that we've been watching movies on? Like, can we walk under it, or is it
Yeah.
set into the floor?
Yeah,
or
you
is
can walk
like,
under it, yeah.
Okay, so
I thought it was like
floating?
on a
Yeah.
dais.
Yeah,
floating.
no, it's just floating.
So now my vision of you underneath it going, is even better.
how high is it off the floor? Well, we've all been touching
Well,
it.
if we've been
so
touching it, it
it's
can't be
not-
too far
yeah.
off
Yeah.
the floor.
We'll say it's about 6 feet off the floor.
Okay.
Don't give it the bad touch.
Can I move it?
How big is it?
You can make a strength check if you want.
I'll do that.
Okay, go ahead.
What are you going to do with it if you take it with us? The thing's huge.
How big is it?
I defer
It is 20 feet in diameter.
Okay. Do you want me to try?
I have 20-foot arms, but I just want to see if I can, like, shifted around or something.
can't-
And it's floating on its own, so.
Okay, so you try to push it, and a scene starts.
But can I push it?
Try it. You can go and
Okay.
try.
19.
19.
The alarm start
With
blaring.
athletics,
You
yeah.
know.
It doesn't budge.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey guys, look, I can hug it.
She stretches her arms out.
Stretches the roots out.
It's my ball now.
I figured you would have sobered up by now.
What's
Are
the
you
point
sure
of that?
that she ever sobers up?
That's not fair to say that about Z. She and I are buddies. Nobody's drunk right now.
Aqua's just looking at you two like, wow.
You're like questioning your mind if you've ever seen her drink water, or if it's always just been.
Yeah, I am. I'm thinking about that right now. Like, is that really water or what is in your?
Okay, so you try to move the sphere, you hug the sphere, you lick the sphere.
Yeah. All right.
Got it.
I guess
What
let's
are you
go to
doing
the
to
other
the sphere?
door.
Greg is humping the sphere.
I'm looking at it from afar.
I don't. As cool as this is, I don't think we're gonna. I don't
Put
think it's
someone up on
particularly
top of the
relevant.
sphere. I don't think we're gonna get anything out of that, though,
Probably
from what
not.
we've seen. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's relevant to what we're here for. So
We should probably go to the other side.
I guess we should go to the other door, huh?
Break on through to the other side.
Okay, so you activate the door and it opens up like the iris, and you see basically the same pathway curving off into darkness.
Another.
does it look
Are we
like it
going
curves
in
back to where we came
circles?
in?
It's continuing the same curve that it was. It's going around in a circle.
Okay.
Right. Well, either this is going to take us back to where we started, or maybe there's another doorway along
Let's
the
go
path.
see.
Okay,
Time to go walk around about.
so the path leads once again to a triangular door, this time set into the end of a large rectangular shape. At least that's what it appears to be from your light source. You can see what looks like the end of a rectangle with this door set into it.
Open up the door.
Okay.
I'm kicking down the door.
The doors open, and you see what looks like the end of a rectangular chamber. Looks like there's something in the middle. It's just at the edge of your light. What you can see close by, there are engravings on the walls. They're sort of more of the same sort of indiscernible ones that you don't know what it's all about. But you see something in the middle of the room. You're not sure what it is.
I sneak up on it.
You move up on it.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Scout. Scout it out.
Scout it out.
So it appears to be a dais, and it looks like there's some sort of a tablet sitting on the dais.
Can I perceptify it before I try to touch it?
Sure. Are you going to move the light source up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll come
Or
over.
unless
you-
you're using
are you
I'm
gonna
holding the light source.
You're holding the light, okay.
So,
Okay.
or one
I
of
thought I
them.
was holding the lights.
Yeah, you're holding.
That's right. We have two light
We're
sources.
probably
You
gonna
have
follow
one,
source, I have a light
and
source.
Z's not going
Aqua
to stay
also
far
has
behind
light.
her. No
Like
matter
I
how
cast
much
light
we're
on my
scout.
She's
too
weapon
excited.
or whatever.
Okay, so you can clearly see that it looks like it's made of platinum, but you can also perceptify it.
Okay. I'm gonna burn my inspiration.
Okay.
Glad I did. That's only a 7 with advantage
A 7.
because I rolled a 1 and a 4.
Ouch.
Okay.
Well, I mean, your passive would be higher, right?
Oh, that's true. My passive perception is 13.
Okay. I mean, it's got writing on one side. There's nothing. It's a platinum tablet that has writing on one side. That's the extent of what you see.
All right. I am gonna try to pick it up.
Okay. It's heavy. Probably weighs about 15 pounds, but it's fine. You can pick it up.
Okay. Can we read anything on it?
It's in the same sort of. Some of the engraving matches what you see on the walls in the areas where you're not sure what it is. So it might be some kind of a language, but you can't read it.
I guess
Is there
it's
anything on the pedestal? Like
Or on the
birthmark
room.
tattoos.
the walls of the room too.
It's probably been
There-
longer than 10
oh wait,
minutes.
sorry,
So my
sorry. Hold on.
magic is gone.
Hold on. I'm forgetting a very important part.
Oh.
As you touch the tablet, you all have a vision.
Oh, okay, so that's a little bit more.
This is kind
a
of
little important.
This is a little important. As you touch the tablet, you all receive the same vision. It's the same one that you've had with the visions of teeth, claws, and wings. But this time, the wings that were once too indistinct to make out any details, such as color, now look to be platinum in color.
Platinum wings?
Yes.
I've never seen platinum wings before.
There's no
And there's writing on it, and it's 15 pounds.
There are no platinum dragons. That makes
The
no
wings,
sense.
do we get enough detail to know if the wings even look draconic or if they're just kind of vaguely wing-shaped and we now have a color?
No, you think it's draconic in nature.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the
What
writing
are we
draconic?
seeing?
I have...
No, it's not. Good question, though, Greg.
I wonder if Ophelia had the vision again.
Yeah,
Probably.
she pops into your head.
Okay.
She never wants to talk to me.
Or me.
Because you never want to talk to her.
I'm
and,
sadistic of her, so.
Like you don't feel the fuzziness behind the eyes. You just feel her in your mind.
Okay.
And she says, "Can I assume that you found the tablet?"
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
We think so.
Yeah, we think so. We're not communicating as much just because we're worried we keep getting followed. We don't know if someone's listening to our communications.
I understand. I just wanted to check. May I look through your eyes?
Sure.
Okay. So she just kind of looks at whatever you're looking at, tries to get
I'll hold it.
You hold the tablet, okay. All right. She says, I look forward to inspecting it once you return to Shikar.
All right.
And then she
Thank you.
leaves, leaves your mind,
All right.
leaves your
Well, I
vision.
guess she had the vision too. So
Okay.
seems platinum though. That's weird.
Maybe our egg's not a basilisk egg after all.
It does seem rather odd that this metallic thing that we found is the same platinum as the metallic egg in a metallic world that is not platinum.
Right.
I'm guessing it's a pretty striking contrast to the black metal.
Yes, it is.
Right, but is there a tie between these platinum things and the colossi? I mean, this is in their temples, right? Probably the spaces that used to be theirs.
We don't have... The only information that we can glean from this is that I can no longer have a giant omelet with that egg anymore because the metal probably wouldn't taste very good.
John.
Was that an attempt at humor?
Oh, you thought I was trying to be funny?
I'm trying to discern if you were trying to be funny. Andy, I don't understand you. I'm trying to understand.
Ask Z later.
Z will most likely be drunk later, but I will try.
You know it. She punches you in the shoulder.
Are you attacking me?
Like a chip of crystal goes flying. You literally just put a chip on my shoulder.
Take 1 point of psychic damage.
I think I should get inspiration for that.
Is anyone questioning the fact that the lizard people, this temple is under their land?
I'm guessing, based on their assumed intelligence from our interactions with them, that they probably had no idea it was here. Not to mention that it took us touching something that looked like our birthmark to open the stairs in the first place.
Most likely
Right.
they've just simply moved into the area ever since
Could
these
have been
temples were
left.
built.
We certainly
Yeah.
could hunt them down and ask if they've ever been underground.
Could be awkward.
Could be a little awkward.
Considering
can
people
talk to
keep
them.
chasing us, it's probably
You're going to
better
talk to them?
I do have the capacity for that, whether it looks
Do
like
you?
I do or don't.
I mean, he speaks the language. At least.
Yeah, but can he keep us from getting attacked again?
That's a question.
Well, they won't even bother to do that.
I mean,
I
do we
guarantee
want to
that.
disguise this and hide it among all my flasks?
I'm
and
already like
stuff
wrapping it
again?
up in a cloak and like
Yeah.
tucking it in between my back tack and my back.
Your back tack?
My back tack. Tack me.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we want to head out I mean, is there anything else of note on the walls on this chamber?
Is there any other doors?
And the dais. We were asking that question before we had the vision.
There was nothing in particular about the dais. If you keep on going into the darkness, you do come to another door.
I go into the darkness.
All else being equal, never go out the same way you came in. Let's check it out.
Okay. So it opens up into darkness, and it's continuing to curve. You're pretty sure that based on the curvature of it, that you're probably at the top of a circular path.
Okay.
You're probably on the exact opposite area from where you came in.
Okay.
Do we come to another door?
You do.
Open up the door.
All right. This one is, let's see. This chamber is square. It's about 400 feet in all dimensions.
Okay.
You see, let's see. There is a 150-foot high, well, I guess you can't really see it, but there's a very tall archway set into the middle of this room.
I want to investigate the archway.
Yeah.
You get closer to it, and within the range of your light, it just keeps on going up out of your light. And you see that there are engravings along the black metal surface that's made of the same black metal. And it's basically just, that's it. It's sitting there. It's got engravings on it. If you do you check out the walls? Do you kind of go around the perimeter of the room?
Yeah.
Always,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So the engravings in this room on the walls look like stars, other worlds, and possibly different planes of existence.
Interesting.
It's a gate.
It's a Stargate.
Is there anything like on the floor in the gate? Anything that looks like an activation switch?
A
Things
control
like
panel.
There isn't. I mean, if you look at the archway, from the floor up, there are distinct sections that are sort of demarcated by like a line. So it looks like sections, almost as if it was built from actual stone, and they have the different stones that lay on top of one another. There are different sections that start from the floor and keep going up.
Climate.
But there doesn't appear to be any sort of a control panel.
I touch it.
You touch it, nothing happens.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
It's
it's cold.
Z tosses a coin like through the arch.
It just lands on the other side.
Okay.
Okay, so
What
Art's
about on
dead.
the floor?
Well, I'm sorry, Sarah.
Anything on the floor?
a coin.
But
I'm giving him the really John.
It's more the same engravings that you have seen along the walls.
Are we seeing any birthmarks?
Let's see. Is there a birthmark? There is not one under the arch. You do see one. Let's see. I'll say you do see one in one of the sections along the arch. So we'll say there is a small birthmark in one of the sections on the arch.
I concentrate on it
Okay.
and I touch it.
And you touch it? Okay.
Yeah.
You get a very brief flash. It's not like anything. It's not like the vision that you had and the structure in the ice. It's much quicker and faster, and you basically see the portal, the archway activated like a portal with like a magical energy inside of it, and it's just like this flash, like in a blink, like just boom, you see it and then it goes away.
Does she see it alone, or do we all?
It's just aqua.
Okay.
And nothing actually happens to the arch. You just saw in your mind, you saw a vision of it being activated, like in its active state, essentially.
Okay. So as that flash comes into my mind, I'm gonna like jerk back and go, whoa.
What'd you see?
Did it shock you?
This activates somehow. I saw a vision of it.
Did you see how it activates?
You're pretty sure that it involves some sort of a combination of using the different sections of the gate.
Like maybe I saw different sections glowing, or
Yeah. You saw like the section in your vision. You saw the section that you were touching glowing along with what was inside the portal, like a magical liquid inside the portal. And you're pretty sure that if they're touched in a certain combination, that it would work, but you're not sure if just anybody can touch it.
Like maybe it takes different races or
or species.
or a
Yeah.
particular species, or
Some humanoid species that's as tall as this arch,
yeah.
maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
It seems as if it was some sort of combination lock.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that we could reach all the different sections that might have needed to be activated, though.
No, probably need a ladder.
I
or
could
something.
climb up and reach a lot of things if we really want to, but do we want to try?
We could be
Can she
here for
stretch high enough
months.
to get to the top of it?
I can.
You would have to climb. I mean,
30. Yeah, I'd have to.
you
climb.
can get 30. You can keep on climbing if you want to climb. It would be a very difficult climb check.
Honestly, though,
Since
we
it's like
could be here for months
smooth
trying
metal.
to find combinations. Assuming that
Yeah.
we even can
Reach.
reach
Get
or
to.
activate them.
I'm game to try it if someone wants me to, but if we want to move on, I'm okay with that too.
And this
Whatever
thing
people
is
wanna do.
gigantic.
And the
also.
tablet doesn't, like, resonate with it or anything.
No, it does not.
So your colossal things came through this doorway.
So it would that would be my conclusion.
It looked like some sort of, like, magic
Yeah.
goo.
And having a way out would be really cool, but I don't see that we're going to be able to do it.
Can you remind me
It-
if climbing is usually acrobatics or athletics?
It's
I think it can be either.
Oh, here, let me down.
climbing. Yeah, I think
climb
it's
this
I
thing.
think it's athletics actually.
Okay.
I think climbing is athletics.
I mean, Z can try. If I get up to parts of the arch, can I like reach around with my long tree limbs and try to hit the buttons?
She wants to reach
basically?
around.
I mean, you can try to touch the panels that are within your reach, which could include like about 30 or 40 feet up.
Sure.
I mean, touching the panels doesn't seem to do anything. The only thing that made a difference was when someone with a Dragonclaw birthmark touched the
The
Dragonclaw
Dragonclaw
symbol. Yeah.
right.
Other than that, touching the panels, they don't seem to react to you or to anybody else touching them.
Okay.
I feel like maybe this is something that might explain why there were so many different depictions in the other room. Maybe they could actually travel.
Possible.
Maybe.
The sphere was a way to look ahead, and this portal was probably a way to actually go there.
Or their recordings of what has happened.
Or their recordings of what has happened. Yes.
Any which way,
We'll
I
have to
don't-
find a Colossus
I-
and ask him.
in my personal opinion, I don't think we're getting anywhere with this.
No.
All right.
I don't think so either.
Okay. Put you back on my shoulders.
Okay. Tally ho!
I'm guessing there's a door on the other side.
There is indeed.
We go through the door.
CZ looking like longingly at the top of the arch, like she wanted to see if she could climb it.
I really wanted to reach the top, guys.
Okay.
The pads on the ship go round and round, round and round.
So you essentially wind up in the same spot where you started.
Okay.
You just come from the south this time.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Well, I mean, it seems like we found what we were looking for.
Yeah.
question is,
Can we get back up the stairs?
What do you do?
Can we look for a Dragonclaw birthmark to activate the stairs?
Oh, I'm just trying to
well,
pop on him.
if they changed shape when we got off,
Z's
them,
big and leggy. She just starts like limbering.
I mean, with Z's help, you can get onto the first
They're
stair.
30 feet
Right.
tall. aren't they?
They're 60 feet wide and 30 feet deep.
Deep.
They're probably about, I would say, about 20 feet high, probably.
Okay, Z can do that.
Yeah,
You
she
would
can
have to like
Fine.
lift each one of us and then
Yeah.
go yourself and lift each one of us. and go yourself.
lift me up.
So when the first person is lifted
so
onto
I
the
can
stair,
take
Yeah.
on giant stairs.
They adjust again.
they adjust to your proportions.
Ah, that's cool.
That is
I-
funky.
I admit that I don't know much about this race or society that built these structures, but they were very intelligent beings.
Yeah.
Very convenient too.
I wish
Yes, convenience clearly more important than the intelligence.
I would say we
Her,
should be on our
her
guard.
gemstone eyes just roll in her head.
While you guys are doing that, we should be on our guard because now we know that they probably may be out there waiting for us.
A possibility, yes.
Let's see. The lizard folk weren't specifically sent after
we can
us.
talk
The
while we're
question
walking.
is, did someone else catch up? But what is our plan? Are we going back to Shakar where we've got to
Okay, so
hide
you
under clothes?
you go back up the stairs.
Yeah, as we're walking, we can
As
talk
we're
while we're
walk
walking.
and talk.
Okay, go ahead and walk and
Yes,
talk.
so are we going back to Shakar? Did we want to try and go do research somewhere else? Like, what is the plan?
I am half considering taking the tablet somewhere else and then having just I don't know, it's a half-formed thought, like most of mine.
Like all of them.
Ophelia needs to study it, right? So we need to get it to her
but getting
eventually.
so getting it to
Yeah.
Ophelia is our goal, but I don't think we should take it to Shakar to do it.
Maybe
I don't
she
think
But I also
Ophelia's
don't think
leaving
Ophelia
Shakar.
can leave Shakar. Yeah.
I mean, you can try to ask her. I don't know. Share your concerns.
I mean, first of all, we're persona non grata in the Shakar.
That's true.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Second of
I'm
all,
not a person.
But they know us. There's not that many traveling parties that have a giant tree and a crystal and a little person and a blue dragon.
yeah. And second of all, if they know enough to look out for us, they may know enough to also be on the lookout for Ophelia.
Do you want to, right, so do you want to try to ask her to leave or do we want to try to sneak in? What's less risky?
But if we are suspicious that our communications are being listened in on, we don't want to just
don't
tell her
know.
where to go.
Right.
Tell her where to go.
We don't know if they're listening to our communications or if they have spies all over the city who've been tracking our movements.
We are operating on very little information here. We could probably run an experiment like that.
I believe your mentor thought less that it would be some sort of psychic interruption and more of a political matter.
Right.
I like your idea of experiment. Maybe
I mean,
we
they
should
did
test
say
a
that
theory.
that the guy on the council who's been looking for us may have people who can scry or do other of that kind of magic in their employ. So just someone who has similar abilities to Ophelia, but a little different. Would probably explain why the maps they had on that group of the spiders are a little different than what she told us.
How about this? We set up either a camp or
We talked about going to the tree people.
We could
City.
do that. We could try.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking something a little bit more direct.
The name of it.
I don't know.
What's that?
I don't think we picked one.
We
The
had talked
Rootfolk
about
area.
going to where
birds.
my people are, figuring that they're a
Oh,
very
gotcha.
ancient race, and they
Gotcha.
probably have libraries and lore where we could do research outside of Shakar.
Gotcha.
Which would be,
Yeah, which you, as the DM, if that's wrong, please correct me. And that's kind of what I've decided in my head canon as part of like her people tried to teach her in the ways of being a mature, withdrawn, well-studied tree folk, and she wasn't a good tree folk. So that's
I mean, I made up the race for this
Yeah.
campaign, so
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to that being part of our collaborative world building.
yeah.
So if you want to say that there is this sort of like forest city,
Like with a library of some
home
kind.
place
Yeah.
of the Rootfolk,
Yeah.
then we could certainly say that.
I mean,
well,
do we want to try to go there? Or
that's
do we
tempting, but
wanna-
I was thinking something more direct.
Okay.
We head back to Chicago,
All right.
but we don't go into the city.
Okay.
We set up a camp a little outside the city,
right.
and then we ask Ophelia in our heads, however that works, to meet us at a different location,
Okay.
but send her a note to meet us at the correct location.
I mean, part of me wonders how they've been at the one place they've been at for all this time, and no one has caught them yet. If they're able to
Right
find
about
us
this
so
time, you
easily.
get to the surface. I'm just going to put on some forest music.
So,
Okay.
is
Are
there
there any
something?
lizards up there?
Is she able to protect herself from scrying? Are they able to protect that location from scrying? How is it that they haven't been caught when they keep finding us so easily?
We don't know that they haven't been caught. That's the point of the experiment.
Well, we
We could
don't
try.
really even know if they're there.
I don't
or
hate
if
that
we're
idea.
speaking to someone else who's pretending to be Ophelia.
Well,
doubt
that
it.
would shake this out.
If
unlikely,
someone
but-
has that, she's supposedly tied to us by the mark, so I don't see how that could be impersonated.
anything's possible through magic.
I didn't even know that you existed before we met at Ophelia's. So it's possible there's many other people out there with our
Maybe.
mark.
Well, like I said, this would just, all I want to do is try to determine whether or not other people can hear what we're saying, or if her house is being watched.
I never thought I'd say this, but I like Andy's plan.
I'm okay
She's
with
just
that.
shaking her head at
We
that.
can go back and do this experiment first, and then if we need to see my people later to do research away from Shakar, we can consider that down the road.
Well, we're not in
Yeah.
any particular rush that I know of, so what's closer?
Unless
know.
somebody's following us.
Yeah.
For all we know, lizard people have made known our existence all over the realms by now. I don't know how long we were down there.
At the very least, taking an indirect path back to Shakar would only benefit us.
I'm going to say that the Rootfolk village would probably be like a one-day detour from like our direct path to Shakar. So,
What is this now?
if we wanted to go to the Rootfolk city,
Yes.
where Z came from, their library and their schools, and it would be a one-day detour from the path that we would take directly if we were going back to Shakar.
Sure, we can say that.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
It's up to you guys.
We might as well.
I'm all for seeing another race in the way that they live.
Hey, maybe they got some cool new songs.
Or some good new grub.
Right.
Get it? Grubs.
Did you just make a joke?
Was that Aqua or was it?
High five!
Was I funny?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh.
I took a
Little pink
swig.
blush.
I took a swig from my bottle.
Does the crystal change color, or does it glow when she blushes?
I would say like a rush of the pink veins like comes to their face. The pink veins in the stone. Yeah.
Okay, so the plan is to go back via the
Via the Treefolk
Yeah.
village, city, whatever you want to call it.
via
Realm.
the root
The
folk.
Rootfolk place that we'll pick a name for.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so you are heading to the hometown city of the Rootfolk. And before we get there, does anybody remember who the last person was who I asked to describe an interesting event that happens on the way to somewhere? I remember John did it once. You were the last person that did it? Okay.
I've done it once before.
You've done it once.
Yeah.
Sarah, have you done that?
I don't remember.
Okay. Let's say that I'm going to ask you, Sarah, to describe an interesting event.
I mean, of course you've asked me.
Just describe something interesting that happens on your way to the home of the Rootfolk.
Remember, if we fall down holes, we get money.
Don't listen to John.
Aqua's just looking at him and blinking. Blink, 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 blink. If they blink. I don't know if they blink. I haven't decided that yet.
Collaborate with our storytelling, Sarah.
So somewhere along the path, I would say something shiny off the path catches Aqua's attention.
Okay.
It looks like unnaturally part of the nature of the scenery.
Blink, blink.
Like a crystal
Okay.
of some
Okay.
sort.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay. So you go over to investigate the crystal.
Yeah. And it seems to be a similar crystal to like the people or constructs that she grew up with, but it's just a single crystal, like a shard off of it.
Okay. And when you say grew up with, the ones that were grown in the lab? Mm-hmm. Okay. And it's similar to the other shardlings that were in the lab with you? Okay. All right.
But it doesn't seem sentient.
What do you make of it?
So let me ask you a question. Were the shardlings that were in the lab with you, were they all of the same type of crystal?
No, like
No?
my friend
Okay.
that I
Oh, citrine, right?
citrine was like kind of
Okay.
a yellowish kind
Okay.
of
So this crystal that you're
Amber.
finding in the woods is similar to like another individual that was there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you want to give that crystal a name, or do you want to hold off on that?
The crystal that it reminds me of?
The one that you just got, yeah.
What color? Is it ruby? Is it...
Lapis. Reminds me of my friend Lapis.
Okay. Awesome.
It's blue in color.
All right.
Opaque.
It's a little unusual to find one out here in the middle of the forest.
This is very unnatural to find it in the middle of the forest. This is similar to the process that they would use to replicate us.
So did they go and gather these raw materials?
Did you just pick up a baby shardling?
What could be, if it was being grown in a lab.
Can you tell if it's from the lab or if it's natural?
I don't know, can I?
You kept saying that they grew in a lab. Who's they?
The scientists.
Scientists. Are they human?
Yeah, I would say they're humanoids of some sort.
Humanoids of some sort? Okay.
Maybe there's like Dragonborns.
Different races.
Different
Yeah.
species.
Yeah, makes up a side story.
Right. Left that
Sarah and I
part
are
up to
collaborating.
DM discretion.
Hey, he asked me. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I love these. I love the collaborative stuff. I think it's great.
I know.
So what was the question that you were just asking me? Can you tell what?
Can I tell if it is something that was there naturally, or if it's something that like got dropped, or like maybe it was actually my friend? and
make-
got
make
a
it for-
chip on their shoulder.
Make a perception check for me.
Okay. Perceptify. I rolled a 19 on the dice, so that's
Nice.
22.
22. Okay.
I know my crystals, bitch.
The dice are from the store.
So not far from where you found the crystal, you just barely can see what looks like some broken glass, and it looks like a sort of like a specimen container that you've seen the baby shardlings kept in prior to them being grown.
Oh. Like there
So-
was
which-
an escapee?
Which leads you to believe that this is from your lab or a similar lab if there are more. But
Yeah.
but it was in a container that you recognize as a container that you saw before.
So as I like kind of like wander around and find this container, I'm gonna be like, I think this was meant to be I don't want to say harvested. I think that this was meant to be grown. Whether it still has that ability or not, I was never taught the science, but
I mean, you
For-
want to take
for-
it with us?
yeah.
See if we can
I'll tuck it into my pocket.
Okay. Yeah.
For the record, I am so tempted to say, "Can you eat it and gain its power?" But I'm not going to actually say
But
that.
you actually just said it. So
in character,
but you did say it.
not in character.
Like I'll even tuck it like into like a pocket or
Protectively,
something
yeah.
that's like close to my heart,
Like we
Okay.
can tell that you're being very
Heart.
protective of it.
Sure,
Yes,
sure.
yes.
my quote unquote heart.
This
Heart
is
of ice.
not an episode of Remonster.
Okay. Very cool. I love that, Sarah. That's great. Awesome.
I'm shaking my head at John.
Always.
That's my natural.
John's not doing his job if we're not shaking our heads at him.
This
He's
is
not
very
Johning.
true.
It's not a true session.
Okay. So you continue on the path and you eventually reach we'll call it a large Rootfolk village that is the home of the Rootfolk that Kate will now name
Spruce Haven.
Spruce Haven.
Towering spruce trees. I'm envisioning like they're very grand, like think like Lord of the Rings kind of like structures up into the trees kind of thing.
The size of the bird that was
Spruce-
just on the bird
Spruce
feeder is, like,
Haven.
crazy.
Oh, what was it? Was it like
Towering
was
spruce
big.
trees.
It wasn't a
big
blue jay.
woodpecker or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would
All
laugh if one of the affiliated. So we have them, big old dinosaur birds. They're huge.
And Sarah, remind me again what type of crystal it was?
Lapis.
Lapis. Lapis. Just making notes. Session notes to myself.
Shushin. Shushin Struck.
I picked my tree name or my village name before Brick because I knew Chris was going to ask me that question.
How did you know?
What trees are tall?
So I don't have Rootfolk Village music, so I'm going to put on this other music instead.
How were you not prepared for this?
So you arrive at Spruce Haven, and you see a great many Rootfolk. Down around basically the structures around the base of the spruces. I'm going to say that there are like elevators made of wood that are on like these really thick vines that can bring people up and down the spruces. And the spruces are very thick, and they have like buildings and windows and balconies and so forth all built into them. So the village sort of starts at the ground level and just kind of keeps on going up.
What is this?
I'm thinking like picture giant sequoia redwood forest kind of scale of that's what I was envisioning with this. Yeah.
And so now that you're here, what was the purpose? What were you hoping to do?
I mean, we're here to do some research. What time of day is it? Like if we have to spend the night, because I think it was 1 day journey out of the way.
Yeah.
So
we'll say that it's probably around like 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So
I'd say,
you have
interestingly,
a lot of day left.
she's probably going to try to steer you guys to like an inn or hostel or whatever we have.
Sure, sure.
Rather than go see her parents.
Sure.
We'll see if they happen to know she's in town and find her, but she's not going out of her way.
Let's see what's going on around the Cracker Barrel.
Try to find your familial.
Yeah. What's that?
Aqua, having lost a child, is very offended that you wouldn't try to find your mother and father. But she'll keep that inside. They'll keep that inside.
You both are paying your characters very well.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I love my parents, but it's complicated.
This like large village town in the trees is big enough that you could easily go in and out and not be seen by your parents. But you said you wanted to go to like an inn of some kind?
We probably need to rest and then try and do research the next day. It would be my guess. You said it was 5 p.m., so that seems about right.
Okay. Let's see. Let's roll up an inn. In my
Is it going to have chicken in it?
roll and play Game Master's
If it's
Fantasy
something
Toolkit.
excessively silly, I might.
Yeah, I mean,
question that.
if it's not appropriate,
We can re-roll or something.
The two
let's
trees
see.
in.
Taverns and Inns, 74.
That might be appropriate.
74.
It's between two trees.
94. Here we go.
John's got out his scrying dice.
Just in case.
That's
Why
not right.
not? Chaos factor.
The weather as we are coming into town is...
Tornadoes.
John throwing dice all over the place.
Missing the dice tray. As usual.
That's not the weather die. That's the that's the terrain die. The weather die says
You always
it's sunny. It's a sunny day.
It's a sunny day. Okay.
So I'm picturing the beams of sun coming down through the tops of the trees, and making all these beautiful patterns on the floor. And
This is your house, Z. Where you grew up.
It's pretty.
It's very magical in a way. I've never seen anything like this before.
would the Rootfolk be like staring at me?
Probably. I mean, I would say they have facilities for people who visit, right? Because it's a pretty condensed continent, but at the same time, they're probably a little bit, I don't know, xenophobic might be too strong a word, but kind of insular as a species. You know,
That makes sense. I was going to ask
them
if they were
sending Z to a monastery was like very much the exception to the norm, right? Like people are expected to
Stay.
grow up and become sages and be well studied and kind of watch the craziness of the world of the other humanoids from a
afar.
distance and not really get involved. So that's
So based on that, we'll say that there really aren't other humanoid species that are here.
yeah.
So your group is drawing a lot of attention.
Yeah.
It's not something where there's a problem. It's just a lot of rubberneckers, a lot of people staring.
Z's going to play it off with her goofiness and be like, hey. Yay, the wayward child has returned. Let's go find her.
That's not good to hide from your parents. I'm just saying.
So looking at these like inn names.
Are we still disguised?
Let's just say she's not going to their house. She has a feeling the word's going to get to them.
Looking at the
easily,
inn names in this awesome book, I'm going to default to letting Kate pick the name of the inn as well. I'm not sure that any of these exactly match a Rootfolk place.
So someone suggested, I'm actually going to say the Three Oaks Inn, and it's set in between 3 oak trees in the middle of the forest. Yeah.
Is it like a tree house? Like
That'd be cool.
Yeah, built in between the trunks and going up in between it, so it's supported at a certain point, and like outward too, up above.
Life.
Yeah, why not? Yeah,
3 Oaks Inn.
yeah.
Okay.
You know, they have campsites that are all like tree houses that you can actually rent.
Yes, Airbnbs.
Yeah.
I think
Okay,
there's
cool.
some up in the mountains.
There's actually a section in Airbnb where you can specifically look for tree
And
houses.
you wanted to go study at the library. What did you want to study specifically?
I think we're going to try the tablet for
Probably do
starters.
that
Now that we
tomorrow.
I
have
want
it,
to look
and
into
then,
linguistics and see if we can find any information on the languages that we've been seeing.
Z just wants to know about the birthmarks. What's the
I'm-
lore on that pattern without showing everybody egregiously that we have one, right? Like, she wants to know.
You don't have to show anybody. You can just
yeah.
look in certain books and things.
Right.
I'm going to suggest, however, that we retire to the inn and start our investigation
agree.
in the morning.
Tonight is for drinking.
Yeah,
Okay.
and playing.
Aqua just stares off into the distance and shakes their head.
Are we playing a card game similar to Three Dragon Ante?
Right. We could do
We
that.
could play Three Dragon Ante. I think I have cards.
Z very much wants Erebus, especially, to try the Ent Drought, which is like the Ent's form, or the tree folks' flavor of alcohol / helps you grow, kind of. Yeah.
What is this special drink that you have that you were telling me
No,
about?
it's just a thing from our people. This is what everybody learns to drink here. I've learned to make other things by journeying outside, because why drink one thing all the time? That's kind of boring, but
I agree.
this is very good. I have to give it credit.
Sláinte.
Sláinte.
I'm going to go ahead and make use of my background feature and do some performing. See if I can sing some songs, maybe learn some songs from other people, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Hobnob and perform.
Now that I've tried multiple different tracks, I'm not sure if this will be the best one, but
It works.
so you are performing for him on board, John?
Yes,
Okay. That's part of your background feature, right?
correct.
Okay. So you are good on that. Everybody else has to pay. So you perform, you stay at the Three Oaks, and then you're going to get up in the morning and go to the library. Is that right?
I think that's the plan.
I do believe that is the plan.
Oh, okay. All right. So if nothing is happening at the tavern, we'll just move on.
Yeah.
That's up to you if something happens at the tavern.
Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. Would the innkeep be a Rootfolk, or would it be other people who are just living in the town, right, running their business? I don't even know.
I kind of feel like it would. Again, you said they're almost like xenophobic, so
Yeah.
I would assume it would be.
They probably don't have a lack for empty rooms at the end.
No, but it's
Which is like, a beautifully appointed building, right? Like, it should be a destination, but it's like crickets, right?
actually probably in situations like this, it would be more like a local hangout place.
Yeah,
For
basically.
the
Could be that
locals.
too.
As far as the inn part, it's
Yeah.
probably not
Yeah.
very bustling.
That's true.
And honestly, if they have like a foreigner come in and performing, it probably
Well,
going
and
to
you
be
probably have
particularly
other
Yeah.
Rootfolk would be there, kind of being more meditative over their drinks, like quieter gatherings. So you like light up the place, because that's not the typical.
I can
people who are
literally
hanging
light up
out
the place.
there, but
It
Color
is.
spray!
I would agree that it's like a social gathering place for the people in the village.
Yeah.
And that you, being a halfling, are drawing all kinds of attention with your performance. People seem to not. They're not opposed to what you're doing. It's not like they're all like
I can
uppity
adapt to the
Yeah.
audience.
or whatever. They're a little curious at first, just because of the fact that you're not a Rootfolk. But very quickly they enjoy your performance. If you want to make a performance check, it won't matter as far as you being able to get free room
Sure,
and
why
board.
not? Yeah, just for RP purposes.
But if you want
I
to
will
RP,
Oh, sure.
Since I have a +6 and proficiency in performance.
You're actually
As
you're
well.
a little better than me.
Because I'm like a disco ball, basically.
Nice work there.
That's a 20 on the die, so that's a 25.
25.
That's the next roll for me.
Okay. So, indeed, sort of like the potentially hardened, xenophobic exterior of these Rootfolk eventually melts away, and they thoroughly enjoy your performance.
I'm
And-
imagining them like all picking you up and tossing you around on their shoulders and like mosh pit.
It is tree pit. Is there
Some
are
tall
there any
swinging
trees
dance
of
that
note
they have, right?
that I can see in the audience? Some that might look extra woody or something. I don't know.
What does that mean exactly?
Extra something that whatever the tree folk use to determine social hierarchy.
He just said extra woody.
I will say, once Sarah collects herself,
Wow. Now that we're extra woody,
There's no alcohol
There
at
is
this
definitely
table.
some hanky-panky going on in the back corner.
I'm not a part of it.
I will say that there is a Rootfolk that has like basically a very large mane of like leaves above their head that stands out as opposed to the rest of the people that are in the room. And you can kind of see by the you can kind of tell their age with like the lines in the wood, and you can see that they're basically like an older, possibly like an elder person. I mean, not so old that they would never be like in an inn hanging out, but older, but probably like I would say probably like maybe like a middle-aged Rootfolk with like a big mane of leaves above their head. So that
flourish.
that person stands out.
Okay.
He's got a big canopy.
What are you going to do to this poor person?
Okay. I don't know. Depends on who this poor person is. And in a quick break, I'm going to ask Z if they know who that person is. Are they like some kind of local politician or something? Or maybe somebody who's a librarian?
Do you want to make that up, Kate?
Yeah, you said more male or female presenting tree?
Female.
Female presenting tree with a large mane of leaves.
Middle-aged for a Rootfolk.
I would say that she's an elder, and Z knows her because she is like she's the headmaster of the school where Z was trying to attend before things went a little bit off the rails.
Oh,
she
so
got
she'd know
sent
you.
elsewhere. So we'll say, I mean, it's been a while, right? This has been a few years, but yes. She has some ties to the library community because she might be a starting place for her research. I don't know if she's going to be happy to see me, but you know.
Aqua immediately goes over to this person hearing this
Yeah.
and is like, "So I heard you used to be the principal of my friend over there.
So
Tell me more about what she was like as a child."
what is this school again, Kate? I want to get a better picture in my brain.
So I would envision that all the Rootfolk, like as they grow up, they go through, a school system within the community. So
Yeah.
probably like the primary / high school level school,
Yeah.
where just again like the whole point is that they study history and lore and just bettering themselves in studious ways so they can be contemplative, withdrawn from society.
So this is a former high school history teacher of yours?
Yeah, she's the headmaster of the
She's the
school.
headmaster
So
of the school, okay.
basically like a principal,
Okay.
or was the principal. It's been years
Gotcha.
since she's been home. So, yeah.
I would say Aqua
Yeah.
actually words it like the head scientist.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Then
go ahead.
before we, as they're diving in to take a look at there, I am going to throw a monkey wrench into this whole thing.
Are you casting
Chaos
Tsunami
gone.
again?
Not quite. However, as I'm going back to performing,
Yes.
I am going to ask that this headmaster make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save.
Oh,
Oh boy.
You don't think that I have enough charm to charm them on my own? I don't.
I chose a studious.
Just for the record, I do not.
That would probably be, I'm making up stats, that'd probably be like a 6.
Okay. I have used enthralling performance, which
Okay.
is one of my bard glamour features.
Okay.
If you perform for at least 1 minute, you can attempt to inspire wonder in your audience by singing, reciting a poem, and dancing. At the end of the performance, choose a number of humanoids within 60 feet of you who watched and listened to all of it, up to a number equal to your charisma modifier, in this case just 1. Each target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC or be charmed by you.
Okay.
While charmed in this way, the target idolizes you. It speaks glowingly of you to anyone who talks to it and hinders anyone who opposes you, though it avoids violence unless it was already inclined to fight on your behalf. The effect ends on a target after 1 hour if it takes any damage, if I attack it, or if it witnesses me attacking any of my allies.
Okay.
The cool thing about this feature is that even if they fail, this is next slide, if a target succeeds on its saving throw, the target has no hint that you tried to charm it.
Okay. All right. So this.
It's just she's just really enjoying my performance.
Okay. So as that is happening, you Aqua walked over to her and asked her those questions.
Yes.
And she's obviously dividing her attention between you and the halfling who's performing. She catches sight of Z and is looking at Andy and at Z and then back at you and is, well, Z, she was always a huge problem. She was always drinking and fighting and do you know this person over here? This small individual?
I do. He's my partner in performance and a traveling companion.
He is just wonderful.
Yes,
He's
he
just
is.
wonderful. Z could learn a lot from this person.
I agree. Z could learn quite a few things from Mr. Andy.
Andy, excellent Andy. Yay, Andy.
I'm still like sparkling from my performance part.
Yeah, Z, she was usually nothing but trouble. Yes, keep going, Andy. Wonderful. Good
She
job,
kind of
Andy.
like pulls her hood up more over her head and like takes a bigger drink from her glass.
That's about as much as she gives you.
Oh wow.
She seems very much enthralled with Andy.
Okay, well, I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to go.
I'll even introduce you.
Oh, yes,
Andy,
please.
come here, Andy.
Oh.
Andy.
Hi, Aqua.
We have a fan that would
Oh,
love to
so we
meet
do.
you.
Hi there. I'm Andy.
Hello, I'm
Let's see
Andy
here.
I'm looking at Kate.
No, I was just starting to think of a name. Let's see here.
Putting her on the spot here.
Right.
Always.
Let's see here.
I can think of one if you.
Let's see. Let's do Elowin Ashfoot.
Elowin
Or
Ash.
E for short.
I mean, yeah. I was.
Hello, Andy. I'm Elowin. It's very nice to meet you.
Well, hello, Elowen. I'm very much glad you liked my performance.
How did you get mixed up with someone like Z?
Oh, there's a wonderful story behind that one. You see, it was while
I would love to hear it.
It was while I was performing down in Shagaroth, and we had these, and it's very unusual to see a tree folk out in there, and I was just performing for just my daily bread. That's what I do, and
I see.
But I also happened to be on a bit of a journey to. A bit of a quest to help out with a local farmer who was having a bit of a goblin problem.
Oh, so you're like a great adventurer.
Oh yes.
Wonderful,
I've been all over the
wonderful.
place adventuring and stuff.
I'm gonna say while he's doing this, I'm gonna go up onto the stage and continue to do my
Sure.
instrument dance.
Sure. People are interested.
Disco ball.
and it just so happened that Z had come across these particular goblins that I had been tracking down, and so we just had just teamed up to go have a little chat with them to recover some of the poor farmers' belongings that they had taken.
Wonderful.
The whole incident turned out really well, and managed to just talk our way through it quite nicely. And she was really helpful in that. So we've just kind of been palling around doing some random adventuring ever since. And we've since had Aqua up on stage. And
she is very beautiful.
She's going to start telling a story of a hero named Z.
You see Ellen kind of roll her eyes, look back at Andy.
And
how long are you staying, Andy? Andy, how long are you staying?
Erebus, yeah. Oh yeah, and Erebus also joined us.
Yeah. Hi. How long are you staying?
Hi. You're a dragon, but we don't care. Halfling.
Are you staying long?
Oh, probably not only for like a day or two, because we do. I am on another bit of a quest here, which I can't really talk too much about right now.
I see.
But
so mysterious.
But we stopped in because we heard that you guys had a wonderful library.
Yes.
In your school, stuff like that, and we were just hoping to be able to stop in tomorrow and.
Well, please, when you go through.
It's at this point in the story that Aqua starts talking about coming across this foreign language that nobody seemed to understand.
Okay. Elowen says to you, when you go to the library, please tell them that Elowen sent you. They'll give you some special treatment.
Oh, excellent. Good, because what we're looking for is probably some really old books, which probably wouldn't be seen under which probably wouldn't be under the normal stack. So,
my name carries a lot of weight.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Ellen. That will really help us. Help me out. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Could I buy you a drink?
Absolutely. And why don't you tell me all about what's been going on? What is it? What did she say you were with the school?
Headmaster of the school, yes.
Headmaster. That is very impressive. And I'll hobnob with her for
she will drink with you.
Pulls Andy aside.
She'll share stories with you.
She's like 500 years old, right?
So she's experienced, is what you're saying?
Yes.
So she's a cougar.
So she hobnobs.
She's a redwood.
She hobnobs with you for what was it? The duration was an hour.
It's 1 hour, but I'm not going to stay with it that long.
Okay,
I'm going to just share a drink and then go back on stage. I have to go back on stage.
Erebus is laughing his ass off
Rescue
the whole.
Aqua from her horrible storytelling.
Erebus says to Z,
An interpretive dance.
I can't believe our friends there. They're up there performing and doing crazy things.
I mean, if you want me to do a performance check, I can.
Did you listen to him?
You can certainly do that, Sarah, if you'd like.
It, so just let it ride. I don't care. They can talk about me. They always have.
That's a 20.
A 20. Okay, so
20.
So we'll say you actually make like 50 gold.
Nice.
So
That's more than room and board.
So Elowen has a great time, and then
I'll split it with you.
And then very much enjoys your company. Watches you do some more performance before she eventually leaves. And is there anything else you guys want to do before you get up the next day?
No, I think so. I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you get up the next day, and the plan is to go to the library. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Z is kind of bracing herself for if her parents get wind of her and try to track her down. But otherwise, the plan is to get in, get the info we need, and get out. Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you head over to the library, and actually, do I have a library? Hold on. Do I have library stuff here? Library.
I forgot I had to convert some of my gold to copper so that I could delete a copper. Want to stay accurate.
How much was that for room and board?
It's usually 1 gold.
Okay. So I do indeed have library background stuff. So okay, so you go to the library, and you basically go to like the front desk, and there is another Rootfolk there. Looks much younger, that does not have a big head of leaves, and is sort of busy looking through some books, and looks up and sees you. Yes. Hi.
Good morning. Yes.
What can I do for you?
It's the evening. Oh, no, we already rested.
Yeah,
We rested. Yeah, we did get a full. I don't think I kind of did.
Take long rest.
Yes.
Confirm.
What is it?
Sorry.
Do
Get
you
your
want a book?
inspiration die back.
Do you want a book?
Yes, actually.
Yes, thank you.
So we came looking to see if you have any books on ancient history. I'm talking like really old history.
Yes,
we
yes,
had
we do.
a
We do,
We
yes.
had a bit of conversation with Elwyn
Oh, yes.
last
another
night,
one.
and
yes.
she said that you might be able to help us point out to some of the older tomes that maybe aren't on the normal stacks. Because what we're looking for is really old.
Ancient languages,
Ancient
and then
languages,
symbology, something like, and she's going to sketch on like a piece of paper on the front, like
Sure.
the birthmark. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
He's
Sketch the birthmark?
Yeah.
this male identifying
showing her that we have.
Rootfolk says, yes, I have a room that has the most ancient of our texts.
Oh, I would love to peruse some of those texts to see if it has some of the information I'm looking
Yes,
for.
yes, of course. Follow me.
I follow him.
Okay.
I walk this
We
way.
follow.
Walk this way.
Walk this way.
So
This way.
he brings you to a room, and the whole library is beautifully built, as Kay would probably describe it.
Imagining ornate bookshelves.
Yeah,
and
all carved from wood and everything,
Yeah.
and it's really quite beautiful.
Yeah.
And they bring you back
right out the window.
Windows with translucent
to
colored
a room.
leaves.
It's like way at the back of the library.
Yeah,
like as
yeah,
far
yeah.
back as you can go, and you have to go down like a bunch of hallways that are sort of like. It doesn't look like you're in an area that has access to like the public, but there was no barrier to getting there, but except the fact that you're just walking down a hallway, whereas most of the space is big and open with all the different platforms and staircases and whatnot, and big open areas where people can sit and read. But you go back through a doorway and down this long hall into this very small room that has what looks to be some very, very old books in there. And this individual kind of bows and then just walks back out and says,
Bows and books it.
it's down. To get back out, go down here and to your left.
Thank you very much.
Bows and books it, he says.
Books it, sure. No, he doesn't run to the library. He doesn't
He
run to the
makes like
library.
a tree and
Boo. Where's the boo flag when you need it?
Can we have John's sister play instead?
her jokes are just as bad.
She's got to visit us to guest star sometime.
Terry, help us.
Terry, can you
Okay.
hear me?
So give me some specifics. Like if you guys want to divide and conquer, give me some specifics on what each of you wants to look for.
Z made it clear she wanted to look for the birthmark.
I want to look for the birthmark,
birthmark?
and if no one else is looking for five-headed dragons, then
I would
okay,
say
you're
let's
gonna-
divide it,
yeah,
like-
Okay,
let's
five-headed
have you look
dragon,
at
birthmark,
birthmark.
History of the Colossi.
history of the Colossi. Sarah.
I'm gonna look into the languages.
Okay.
Okay.
Like, see if I
Alright.
can find something that matches the languages that we've been seeing.
Okay.
So he's also going to look into platinum then. Like, what is it with all the platinum stuff? Platinum wings, platinum.
All right. Let's just take the one
Sure,
one each
that's
of you
fine.
for now.
Yep.
So let's have everybody make a history check with advantage,
Okay.
and we'll see how it goes.
Use your bardic inspiration.
You would have to choose which one of us to give it to.
Actually, that is a
Unless
good
you
question.
I mean,
All at
if you
once.
want to hand out bardic inspiration to each person right now, John.
Yeah, give me 1 second before people roll.
Before people roll.
Dunk. Well, we can add it after with
yes.
bardic inspiration.
Yes.
So.
I've got 3 to hand out since we're spending the day anyway.
Sure.
Not to worry about burning all of
You
them.
can't bardic inspire yourself, so that's all 3 of us.
Technically, I could.
We can?
It says any creature, and I'm a creature.
And they're D6s.
Okay.
I guess so.
Oh no, I take that back. A creature other than me. darn it, I can't expire.
Okay.
I thought so.
So each of you have a
You're right.
D6.
So everybody can add a D6 to the roll.
As we're spreading out, Andy's like, "Good luck."
Not a good spread.
Good. I, however, will just the rolls.
And what is the
But,
roll?
hey,
as
I'll
a
take that
wisdom
roll.
or
History.
History.
History check.
Oh, I don't get a plus. Damn it.
I have a negative
Well,
one. in
make
history.
sure you add your inspiration dice to it if you want it.
He gave us advantage.
Yes, and he gave advantage.
Yeah, did you roll with advantage, Greg?
Yes.
Okay. So you have advantage, and you have a plus a D6 from Andy.
Which is good.
Yeah, I needed it. Because
I don't think I really
bad roll.
necessarily needed it, but
I
it's
rolled a
helpful.
2 and a 9.
Okay,
so I
starting
needed
with
it.
Sarah, who's on my left. Aqua was researching
The languages
the languages. Okay.
that we've been seeing.
Okay,
And I
and
got
what
a
did you-
21.
21.
Nice.
Okay.
She's good at taking in information. I'm going to say she has a photographic memory, even.
Oh, yeah. I'd buy it.
I buy it.
Databanks locked in, right?
Okay, so you got a 21 on the languages you've been seeing. Okay, so you are able to identify. I mean, you kind of assume this anyway, but the first part is that you were able to identify the language of the colossi as what is on the tablet. So you know that's what it is. You kind of assume that anyway, and you spend enough time with it that you think that what the ritual is saying. I mean, you can't like learn a language and however long you're being here,
Yeah.
but you get the feeling from trying to match up symbols and learning just the rudimentary basics of what this is that you believe that the ritual is a ritual of creation. You almost thought it was summoning. I mean, again, you're trying to figure this out, but you know, I'll say that you all probably spent like a couple of hours at least here in the library.
Oh, yeah.
So you're able to determine that it's not actually summoning; it's creation, is what it is. A ritual of creation, using the language of the colossi.
Okay.
Kate, what did you roll?
I rolled a 13.
A 13. You're looking for information on the birthmarks. That
Yep.
was the first thing you're looking
Yep.
for. Okay. You don't find any information with regard to other people having them, and what I mean by that is that based on the extensive history of this book and of what the library holds, you're not aware that anybody else has ever had these birthmarks. There's no precedent in history for these birthmarks.
Okay.
So it's sort of it's sort of conspicuous that there's never been the absence of this having happened in the past
Okay.
stands out to you
All right.
as something that's unique. So you don't think that there is anybody else who has the birthmark other than your group.
Okay.
You don't believe that anybody else has the birthmark.
Is there any lore on the symbology, or no, because no one's ever seen it before?
It's unclear on what it is. I mean, you do find some stuff about it.
Okay.
And you find it basically bathed in sort of really far gone, like prophecies, but they're all guesses and they don't give any real specifics as to what it has to do with. You know, it makes all these assumptions about dragons, but it's a Dragon Claw birthmark, so of course that's what it would have to do with.
Okay.
But there's no other information other than the fact that there's some sort of a foretelling of people being born with the birthmark.
Okay, but nothing like what they're supposed to do or anything
No.
like that. Okay.
No.
All right. So prophecy. Interesting.
So we found
Prophecy, and you are not, and you were the only ones that
And
have
there's
it.
no one
So
else in
there's
history
no one else
who's
that has it.
documented
No,
having
correct.
them.
Okay, so
Correct.
good, because when you were saying that nobody in history have it, that didn't preclude the possibility of other people currently having it. But you're saying that the implication is that these are unique enough that we can draw that conclusion.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. That is what Krista DM is trying to tell you.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
No one else has the birthmarks.
Okay. We
What else?
can move past that line.
We are special.
John, what were you rolling for?
History of the Colossi.
What'd you
where
get?
they came from. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay.
I love that that's caught on for
Barovian 20. I like it.
Thank you, Jake, for the phrase Barovian 20.
Okay, so you do, in fact, learn much of the history. You listened to the intro that I made for the episode of this podcast called Into the Cold, right?
Oh, yes.
That had the whole history of the world and everything in it. So essentially, you know a great deal of information about the Colossi as I explained it in that intro.
Okay, I'll review it later, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But basically, you can assume that you have that information about the fact that they were around for many, many millennia, that there was a big catastrophe that seemed to wipe them out, and then the whole world eventually changed from like metallic things into organic things.
Okay, so I now know where the tie-in for where all this metallic stuff is coming from.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, and you know that there were different like types of metal. The Colossus were made of different types of metal, and they generally shared some of the same like personality traits and drives and ambitions and whatnot. So you know a little bit about like the Colossi culture. But
Yeah, and when two different kinds of colossi got together, things were really electric.
Boogie, oogie, oogie.
I mean, there's nothing that connects them specifically to dragons,
Right.
but you do learn about basically their shared history together.
If there were metallic, people, and there were dragons at the time, and everything was kind of metallic, it kind of translates.
I will say though, I will give you one other small piece. There is one mention of basically a like sub race, if you will, or a subspecies, like one of the various different kinds of metals. Usually there were not platinum colossi, but there is a mention that there's basically there's a rumor that a very small group of them did exist at one time.
Okay.
And they were involved in sort of like things having to do with mystery and magic and prophecy. But this is all just kind of rumor and conjecture.
All speculation.
All speculation. There was a very small sub-race, small in number, not small in size, small in number of platinum colossi. So that's what you get.
And that is quite a lot. Thank you.
And Greg, what were you researching?
The five-headed dragon.
Okay, and what'd you roll?
I rolled a 16.
16. Okay, so moderate. So you get a name. You get the name Tiamat. You get the name Tiamat. You get the name Tiamat, and you do know that in fact, the 5 heads are the 5 colors of the Dragonborn species. You know that as well. That's what you get with a 16.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming we're all sharing this with each other.
Yes, yes.
right.
I assumed that too. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, you wanted to make one more. Go ahead, John.
Well, did anyone find something about platinum in regards to dragons? Now that we
No.
have a platinum egg,
specified
and
that.
platinum
No one has found anything.
Should we look for that? Who
Not
wants to
directly,
look?
no. All I have is, like I said, you're not finding information about platinum dragons per se, but the platinum tablet does seem to align with what this rumor of the subrace.
You said platinum colossi.
Subrays.
I mean, we can try to look. Does anybody want to poke around and see who's doing the best here at looking
I
around?
would like to inquire as to whether there's a possibility of me taking out or having copied a book that actually teaches the Colossi language.
Like a language reference.
Yeah,
Okay.
like a language reference that I could take with me to study on the road.
We'll say that you can get basically back in touch with the gentleman, with the young guy at the front, and he basically does allow you to make sort of like charcoal rubbings of some of the
Rosetta
because
A lore keeper.
the books themselves have very thin wooden pages. They're very delicate.
Okay.
And they're sort of like embossed.
Okay.
So you can make like charcoal, like
So I could stay at the library all day and
Yeah,
make a copy
absolutely.
of the entire
You could
language
Xerox it.
book.
absolutely, yeah,
Xerox
absolutely.
it, yeah.
Yeah, you could.
There we
Okay.
go. Nice.
I don't even mind if he has me pay for it or anything. I would like to take it with me, so I might, out of character,
You can't take the
learn
book.
the language.
You can't take the book, but
like a copy of the book with
Yes,
me, so
yes.
I could,
Yeah.
out of character,
In
learn the
downtime.
language
Yes.
maybe
Yeah.
understood.
in my
understood.
downtime.
That's a very Aqua thing to do.
Yeah. Elowen's name carries a lot of weight,
Yeah.
so you are allowed to basically make a copy.
Okay.
All right.
I will stay there for the duration of making that copy.
All right.
Okay. So it takes you the better part of the day.
Yeah.
Anybody want to help look around for
Sure.
just the platinum
I'll
dragon
help.
thing? That's kind of the last question we haven't looked at. Why do we have a platinum egg? Why do we see platinum wings? They're supposed to be those 5 colors. That's it. And we have platinum colossi, but we don't have platinum dragons, as far
Yeah,
as
I
we know
guess
from our
that's-
research so far.
Yeah, I guess that's enough to make me curious, because
you
otherwise,
wanna-
it would.
I'm only half listening.
I mean, you're better at looking for stuff. Do you want to do it? You want me to help you?
How long have we been here? You figure.
Well, long
I'd
enough
say
for her to
probably
copy
at
the
least
book.
3
I mean,
hours.
you're going to be here for most of the day. I mean, at this point right now, you've probably been
Unless
here.
you leave
Yeah, I mean, I figured
Yeah.
we'd probably end up staying at the inn tonight before we head on to Shikar tomorrow.
Well, that was the plan,
So,
yeah.
I mean, at this point, you've been here for a few hours. Aqua's going to be here most of the day copying.
You guys
So-
can leave me behind if you want. I'm pretty sure I'm safe in the library.
I want lunch.
We can go and get
I don't
lunch,
need to
but
eat.
let's finish researching this one thing.
Is there anything else you want to research?
Platinum dragon.
Yeah, I guess.
Platinum dragon.
I guess we'll
Okay.
see what we. Yeah, I guess we'll see what we can come up with that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll-
Since we have actually seen visions of
I'll
one.
help someone
Okay.
who's better at history than me.
have somebody make a history check with advantage.
I have +0, so it's not going to be me.
-1.
The same.
Plus 2.
Yeah.
It's weird. I have
You
terrible
could use your
intelligence.
inspiration.
I could. Well, no, I already have advantage.
Oh, that's right.
You're copying a book, and the rest of us are basically helping Andy at this point.
I'm
to
just
clear
going
this
like
final
this.
question so we can go and get some lunch.
Yeah,
okay.
do what you want.
Yeah, good
Come on, Dice, do the thing.
So, yeah.
Hey, we're talking about Tiamat.
Bad juju. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Max roll 22.
And your mushroom
22.
dice.
Okay.
It's shroomy.
I mean, you find absolutely nothing about platinum dragons ever having existed.
Oh.
Wow. Also conspicuous.
Yeah, there's nothing about platinum dragons anywhere. There doesn't seem to be any information to find.
Okay.
They don't exist.
Okay.
They never
then-
have.
That's then in character as far as Andy's concerned. Either it's never been seen before, or the information just isn't in
Yeah.
this library.
Okay. Hey, that's
Well,
different.
Erebus says, could it have been removed from record? Is that possible?
Anything's
would
possible, I suppose.
Doubt it in this particular facility. My people value truth of history above all things. The politics don't. They try to float above the politics. That's part of why I never got along with them.
Yeah, but how much would they? How hard would they fight against an angry dragon that's threatening to torch the town unless they surrender certain books?
I mean, if someone wants to try to get a read on that, you could. But I mean,
Or maybe
We
it
could-
never existed for them in the first place.
Or maybe it never existed in the first place, and this is something
you could
unique.
throw
and, or our
Elwyn's
vision
name
is
around
more,
some more.
or maybe the vision is more metaphorical than realistic.
I
Maybe
was
they've
not
never
good at the book
existed
stuff.
until
That's
that
why
egg
I ended up at a
hatches.
monastery. I know something.
That is ironic.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's just one that you
Or
say.
maybe
That's
we
ironic.
need to create one out of the egg with the tablet.
What? So like,
Well, this
take the tablet and smack the egg?
As I'm still rubbing, it's like, well, the tablet does talk about creation magic. I'm still rubbing.
There's a joke there, I'm sure.
Doing my rubbings.
So you go through the rest of the day at the library. You're going to spend another night at the inn, right?
Correct.
And then leave for Shikar the next day. Is that right?
Yeah, because it would be a one-day trip to Shikar from there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll spend
Or maybe a
half of the
two-day
time
trip,
that we
yeah.
would be sleeping, quote unquote, doing my research on the language, since I only have to transfer 4 hours.
Okay. All right. I'm probably going to talk with you offline about.
How long it'll
How
take
many
to learn
hours?
it.
Right,
you need?
exactly,
It's usually like
exactly,
at least
yeah.
50 or something. Yeah. Cool. But she's very smart.
I guess so smart. SMRT.
But I'd say, yeah, we stay one night, and it probably should be a 2-day trip to Shakar from when we leave, because I said it was one additional day on our journey, and it was 2 days going out, so 3 days total going back.
So you do have no problem getting back to Shakar. You said that you were like wearing cloaks and things to try to hide your vision.
Yeah, are we still doing the plan where we...
Trying to see if she can come out to the edge of town
Do we
to us.
need to if we've determined that nobody else has the birthmark, or...
No, that's the open question.
Okay, so,
I mean, we still don't know if the...
You're just
shopping-
outside of Shakar. You're right near Shakar.
You can try to ask her that question if you want. If she doesn't, then I'd say we got to get it to her no matter what.
Because we still don't know if the shop is being watched.
Right.
But there's a good chance, though, that if they thought we still had... Actually, come to think of it, if they thought we still had the other mysterious artifact,
That's
then
why
that
I
means they
wonder
never
if she
saw us
isn't
enter.
shielding herself somehow, either consciously or subconsciously.
Or they just don't know.
Or they just don't know about her, one or the other. I've noticed a lot of them seem to fixate on me, and I don't know if it's just because I'm big or if there's something different in why they're noticing me.
It's that beautiful crown of yours.
She rolls her eyes and takes a drink.
So what's the plan with regard to going in or not into the city or Ophelia?
I mean, even disguised, we still would draw a lot of attention.
I'd rather, yeah. Do you want to see if she feels it's safe to come to the edge of town? You reach out and talk to her. You take a turn.
And he's like, I don't know how.
John's like, don't make me roll high.
Yeah, probably would still be best if she or a designated person could come out here.
She
rather
needs
than
to
us
study
guys.
it, so it has to be her.
But somebody will have to deliver it in.
Oh. I'd like to be with her when she studies it. Let me make that clear.
I mean, her father is in the picture too, Barton.
Yeah,
If that will help at all.
right.
Well,
But I'm
someone
like-
contact her first and see what
Yeah.
she thinks.
I will do that. I've not talked to her, so.
Okay, so you kind of try to reach out to her with your mind.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, you feel the sensation for the first time. It's kind of disconcerting. You feel her in your mind, and she says, "Yes, Erebus."
Hello. We are around, but I don't want to tell you exactly where we are, just in the event that someone might be listening and or following us.
I understand.
We have something that we would like you to take a look at. Would you come out to where we are? Can you do this?
Yes. My father and I can try to meet you somewhere. Are you just outside Shakara?
Yes.
Okay. Can you give me some landmarks, some sort of a direction?
And I give her...
You can
Let's
just
say
you can
we
just tell
set up
me.
our
Yeah,
camp
tell-
in the east,
Yeah.
and we'll send them to the west.
Yes.
Like, or south, like not super far away, but yeah.
Well, we have to get them to know
Yeah.
if we go to the correct place.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Or we could have one person, one of us over there, but that splits
Don't
up
split the
party.
I'm okay with splitting the party.
Can we send a message
Chaos Gremlin.
via something, like a bird or, some form of postage?
The spell sending?
Yeah.
I don't think any of us has the sending
No, I
spell.
don't think you do.
No, just have her come to us, and we will just have to
Yeah.
watch for followers.
Okay. All right. So you give her a location just outside the city, and
I'll hide in the brush
okay.
to keep an eye on the campsite for
Okay.
any possible intruders. Can I do
Why?
that?
I'm
as a
already
rogue?
there.
Yeah, sure.
You're already in the bush.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Halfling in the bush. A halfling in the bush.
So about an hour goes by, and you see a couple of cloaked figures actually riding like tandem on a horse come to the edge of the city, and the smaller of the two gets off, and you're hiding, right? Aqua's
Yeah.
hiding, but the rest of you are not hiding.
No, but I am going to keep an eye open for any.
He is on guard.
Okay, so the hood comes off, and it's Ophelia,
Okay.
and you quickly recognize Barton as the rider, as the main rider,
This way, over to our camp.
Okay, they follow you over to wherever you're trying to.
I'll stick to the shadows and keep an eye out.
Okay. I mean, she says like, "Is Aqua okay?"
Yeah, she's fine.
Okay. All right.
Just being careful.
I'm hiding well enough that they don't even know I'm there. I love it.
Rogue got a rogue.
And Erebus says we've had many situations.
Well, Sarah, give me a stealth check.
Dun, 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 dun.
You should probably do a stealth check.
Okay, I'm gonna do it with my inspiration just in case.
Okay, sure.
That's a 4 and a 5. So that makes a 9 for stealth.
Okay.
Well,
I guess I hit a pocket full of sunshine. And I start glittering from the
Wind
bush.
blows and the trees rustle, right? And all of a sudden, ring!
So you're moving sort of away from the path, and then there's this like
Ray of light.
shuffling in the bushes and the cracking of branches underfoot, and then it catches Ophelia's attention and. Who's over there in the brush?
It's fine.
it's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
But it is weird that they keep fixating on one or all of us. We've had multiple groups try to find us now, so this is.
I
concerning.
understand you being cautious, of course. Yes.
I mean, the last time they were looking for the first object we gave you, and they were looking for us, but not the object. So I don't know. Is the shop where you and your father is it protected in some way from?
I mean, no one has ever come to the shop asking questions.
All right.
Interesting.
Well, I guess let's not waste time.
Yeah. And bring out the tablet.
Okay.
I would have already given it to one of you since
I
I was
figured.
the one carrying it.
Okay. So
Safe assumption.
This tablet pops up out of the bush.
Subtle.
Forget about the burning bush. You found a thing.
Wow,
The visual imagery I have right now is ridiculous. These crystal hands popping up out of the tablet.
but now we broke John.
And
you
don't
don't
forget,
see me. You don't see me.
don't forget
Just the lights
sparkling.
everywhere. Yes, hands.
I'm a ghost. I'm a ghost. Ooh.
Stealthy at like Assassin Academy or something.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. So
I am the knight.
So as Ophelia touches the egg, once again, sorry, not the egg,
Tablet.
the tablet. When she touches the tablet, once again, her eyes take on that platinum glow. Her hair floats off her shoulders. Her body's really still, and after a short time, she returns to normal. And she says, "The platinum egg has a ritual on it and must be performed in conjunction with the platinum egg. It must be."
Platinum tablet has a
Yeah.
ritual on
Platinum
it.
tablet. Blah. Yes,
Looks like we
platinum
called Chris,
tablet
too.
has a ritual on it. Must be performed with a platinum egg. The ritual must be performed in a specific location, but I'm having trouble seeing it. There is, however, one more piece of the puzzle. In order for the ritual to work, you must have a drop of blood from a powerful dragon. And that's where we're going to end for the session.
Erebus, you want to donate?
That's not a
The
blood.
tree the brush rustles again.
So tablet as a ritual goes with the egg. You got to get a drop of dragon's blood.
That's not good.
There's some location that she's having a hard time
That's unknown.
focusing in on right now. Yeah.
Lots of questions.
And so we're going to do Stars and Wishes. And again, I have a special announcement for after Stars and Wishes. Let me put on some peaceful music here.
I don't even know what that's
Okay.
Oh.
So let's see. Greg,
Oh boy.
do you have any stars and or wishes? Stars are things you like, and wishes are things that you would like to see. Totally voluntary. You don't have to have any.
I would probably say the biggest star for me was the whole fight that was Memorex on the globe thing.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, shit. I actually said the mouth that out loud. I'm sure Kate saw that. So that, for me, was cool.
Which, for the listeners who may not know, that was a scene from Spacefarers. So, yeah.
Our first campaign.
Yeah, our
as a
first campaign
podcast.
as a podcast, yep. So that was a star. Awesome.
Yes,
do you have
that was
any
cool.
Do you have any wishes?
I don't think I do.
Okay. Go ahead.
At least this session.
Okay, that's fine. John, do you have any stars and/or wishes?
Stars, excellent session. I really loved that. It was a nice, good role play and info gathering session.
Sure.
Rather than another slugfest.
Sure.
Not that I don't like slugfests.
I understand.
I like
You are a
slugfest.
slugfest.
But it was a good change of pace on this one. So
Yeah,
kudos.
I didn't plan any fight of any kind, although I could have if you guys forced me into it. But
Yeah.
I didn't plan a fight of any kind.
Oh, you mean we could have started a ball fight? A
Ball fight?
A brawl fight?
Ball fight. Whoa.
John wants to fight balls.
Tree fight.
A bar brawl there, and
I don't think we
I'm a little
really want to
disappointed.
brawl with her folks.
I don't know that. Yeah, that would have.
They all have 15-foot reaches like her. I mean,
Okay, so you like the session
Yep.
that had the exploration and role playing. Okay.
Yeah. So at this point, yeah, no particular wishes either.
Okay. Kate, stars and our wishes.
So I very much enjoyed the chance to dig more into the lore for my characters. So thank you for helping me to facilitate that. It was a good, timely opportunity. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was cool.
And then wishes. Hopefully that we get into some kind of a fight next time, so I can test out some of my stuff from my last level up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll allow a fight on the next session.
I'll allow it.
Stars and our wishes, Sarah.
stars. Definitely liked the throwback to Spacefarers. That was definitely not expected. And just the whole, I really love the visual imagery I get in my head of this kind of alien structures and worlds that we keep running into in regards to the Colossi. That's a really big standout for me. So
Awesome.
as the storyteller, I give you like here's
Okay.
for that as I hit the microphone with my hand. And I'd also like to say that I'm really proud of John and Greg in particular for their role play in today's adventure. Like, you guys were involved
Cool.
more so than normal. Like, I really enjoyed Andy schmoozing the headmaster. It was like a really cool take on how to get clout in the city, if you will. As for wishes, I wish that Aqua would roll better on stealth checks.
Okay, cool.
I don't know
Shiny
how
Crystal's trying to be a rogue.
I was going to say,
know.
how stealthy is a disco ball?
I don't know.
Not particularly
The
stealthy.
dice weren't there today.
My stars were, I mean, I really thought that what you did, John, with that feature was really kind of fun. And I was able to use that as an easy way to give you information, which I like as a DM. You know, if the players present me with a way to give them information, I like that. I don't like having information that I'm holding back, and then if you don't make a roll, you don't get it. I like it when the players give me ways to give them information. I like that. So I enjoyed that a lot. And I did generally have fun just running a session that had no combat. You know, I had all this info, and I was perfectly willing to share that, have you guys do like exploration. And the fact that you wanted to stop at the Rootfolk village, I thought was really fun. That I obviously didn't plan that, but it worked out really, really well. And again, you gave me the opportunity to give you guys a whole bunch of information at the library. So that was great. You know, I mean, you guys know the lore because you've heard it from me, but your characters don't know it. So that was great.
It's been an interesting stretch of the brain to try to decide, okay, what of this does the character actually
Exactly.
So
know?
we know that
Exactly.
there's dragons and they're
Yes.
colored now, right?
Now
but
we
everything
know of-
before, what
yeah.
did we really know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I mean, those are my stars. I thought everybody did a great job. Wishes, nothing in particular stands out. I mean, in Chris's brain, Chris wants to always have like this is really nitpicking myself, but like I always want to have the perfect music for every situation. But because we're collaborative world building, I can't always really guarantee that. So in my brain, I'm like, if I only had this kind of track on there. But I'm
So
not
now
going
you're going to spend the next 6 hours finding one,
Probably
and we're
finding
never going to
certain
need
tracks.
it again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, I also really liked the opportunity to throw in a little bit of Shardling lore.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that was
I
a
definitely
cool
want to
little
know
side
more about like, are there organically grown shardlings as well? Are they all lab grown? Like yeah.
That is something that is
Are
not
these
in
assassins
Aqua's.
for the
Is this a crystal?
government?
Is this a
Like,
crystal
you
that
know.
you're just going to slowly absorb now, or is
I
it
don't
just-
know. It's not to Aqua's knowledge. That would not be something she was taught.
Right. Fascinating.
Can we stick it in a bucket of water and
Fascinating.
watch it grow?
It's not a chia pet.
Okay, so now it's time for a special announcement. Dragonbirth will be taking a short break while I run you all through an adventure called Cult of the Cave Crickets. Cult of the Cave Crickets is a multi-session level 2 horror-themed adventure from Darkstar Adventures written by my good friend Jeff Demers, who I played D&D with for many years.
Interesting.
I was a beta reader for the adventure, offering my thoughts and critiques. The Kickstarter launches on July 2nd and goes through July 31st. We will be cross-promoting with him. He'll be sharing our logo and other info on his social media platforms, and we'll be releasing the episodes of us playing the adventure in conjunction with the Kickstarter. So I will need all of you to make second-level characters for our next session.
Sweet.
And then once we get through this, then we'll go right back to the Dragonbirth again.
Okay. We can go over details later. Then.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's say goodnight to the listeners.
Good night.
Good night, listeners.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave us a review anywhere this podcast can be found. Our social media links, plus additional content, can be found on our website at knightsofroleplay.com. Please tell your friends about Knights of Roleplay, an adventuring podcast, and spread the word through social media. Your help and support are greatly appreciated.